Hello everyone. We know there have been some changes to the Duolingo English test in this year. So today I'm going to take the full process of the practice test again and to see how much score I can get after the changes. And during the process, I will also share with you some useful tips to help you prepare for the Duolingo English test. Okay, now let's get started. Okay, section 1, read and select. Okay, no. Assignment, yes. No. Tension, yes. Okay, just choose the word you think is correct. Prosecute, yes. Yes. Redevelop, yes. Vilely, no. Facturate, no. Giant, no. Need, yes. Down, no. No. Desperation, yes. Stereotype, typical, yes. Resignation, yes. Resignation, decute, no. Okay, section 2, fill in blanks. Okay, this question type is a little bit challenging because we only have 20 seconds to finish each question. So we need to read it very quickly. A well-crafted research can impact the entire study. Question. Okay, submit. Check out my latest blog post where I've shared the full of last night's interview. Full transcript. Let's plant a tree as a memory to our beloved pets. No. Sorry, time is up. Okay, he's in to play the violin was a source of amusement. Like it's perfect. Inability. Okay. After missing their flight, the travelers found themselves in a prey at the busy airport. Missing. Oh, time is so quick. After finally reaching their destination, the travelers parted never to see each other again. On this math exam, you will be allowed to use. In digital arts, artists use a tool to unwanted lines, erase, I think it's to remove. Advancements in sustainable agriculture or imperative for addressing global food. Yes, agriculture. Okay, next, mixed language skills. Okay, let's try.
I tried a little bit of every dish.
I tried a little bit of every dish. Okay, the first time, let's try to write as much as we can. Then we listen again and check.
I tried a little bit of every dish.
I tried a little bit of every dish.
I tried a little bit of every dish.
Okay, it's perfect. Let's submit.
Agricultural engineering profoundly shapes the future of farming.
Like what? Profoundly profoundly shape the future of farming. Okay, let's listen again to check.
Agricultural engineering profoundly shapes the future of farming.
Shapes. Okay, shapes.
Agricultural engineering profoundly shapes the future of farming.
Okay, it's perfect. Submit.
Their first day at work was successful.
The first day work was successful.
Their first day at work was successful.
Their first day work was successful.
Their first day at work was successful.
Okay, submit. Okay, biodiversity. Okay, this is about biodiversity to the variety rendering, protecting and maintaining and biodiversity. Okay, sometimes we can find the answer from the title or the first sentence. We can see here, biodiversity has become a key issue. So we need also to pay attention to the tense, right? Tense in conservation efforts. Biodiversity promotes a healthy environment, promotes and helps sustain any living things in this environment. A loss of biodiversity can have negative effects such as a decrease in the genetic diversity of a species. Okay, submit.
You are a school teacher, aren't you?
You are a school teacher, aren't you? Right?
You are a school teacher, aren't you?
Okay.
The company prioritized the use of recycled materials during the manufacturing process.
Prioritize the use of materials as what?
The company prioritized the use of recycled materials during the manufacturing process.
During the manufacturing process, right?
The company prioritized the use of recycled materials during the manufacturing process.
Recycled materials during the manufacturing process. Prioritized. Okay, the past should be past tense. Okay, chat app faces rocky road to revenue. Roughly 3 years after the photo sharing. But don't expect to see many big advertisers spending big money anytime soon. That's because the app, because this article is about the app, right? The app which are intended to appear only in the app, the ads, because this is the app, appear in the app. So it's not app, it's DS. Only in the app of users who unwittingly turn them on are too difficult for brand marketing executives to measure. Okay, submit.
I expected green lawns and quiet streets in the suburbs.
I expect green lawns and what's in quiet suburbs?
I expected green lawns and quiet streets in the suburbs.
Green lawns and quiet streets in the suburbs. Okay, let's check last time.
I expected green lawns and quiet streets in the suburbs.
Okay, submit.
I felt very sorry that I had put them to so much trouble.
I felt very sorry that I put them in so much trouble.
I felt very sorry that I had put them to so much trouble.
Put them to so much trouble. Okay, let's check again.
I felt very sorry that I had put them to so much trouble.
Okay, submit.
They received praise for their good behavior.
They received praise for their good behavior.
They received praise for their good behavior.
Okay, submit.
Despite graduating years ago, he still has access to his university email account.
Graduating years ago, he still has access to his university email account.
Despite graduating years ago, he still has access to his university email account.
Okay. He 0 stars villain. He also suggested that afterwards it would collapse into a ball of gas from which new stars would emerge. Okay, because it's about stars. Yeah. Okay. Okay, interactive reading. We have 7 to 8 minutes to finish reading. Okay. Over the past 2 technological development has, over the past 2 decades, only decades can be used here. Technological development has given way to a number of broad changes. Has passed away, carried away, given way to a number of broad changes in communications and what technology, information technology. These changes have fundamentally altered we connect with one another, altered the way we connect with one another with the natural and information, with the natural, with one another, with the natural world, and with information, with one another, with the natural world, and with information. One of the most profound changes has been the rise of mobile computing, which has transformed the we communicate, access information, how we communicate, access information, and consume media. Social media has arguably become the single most significant factor, has arguably been the most factor, yeah. The things in encouraging and enabling these changes, because it's about the change, right? These changes, okay. Submit. As we increasingly turn to our mobile devices for information and communication, it becomes vital to understand how this technology impact our relationship with the natural world. Social media, so it could be about social media. Social media users can use these networks, share these networks. So there's nothing about networks here, right? Are the most commonly used phone. It's about the social media. So this could be an example of social media, right? One popular social network boasts more than 1 billion active users per month, with half of those users accessing them from mobile device. There's an array of wireless devices based on cell phones and other digital cameras. So I think this must be about social media, so it should be this one. Social exposed audience. It's an example of how social media has been the most significant factor. Yeah, so it's example, 1 billion active users. Okay. What time period is the article focused on? Over the past 2 decades. Yeah, I think it focused on the past 2 decades, right? Okay. What is the most important factor encouraging and enabling changes in communication? I think it's social media has been the second most factor encouraging. So it's social media, right? Social media. Okay, just choose the answer, exact answer. Select the idea that is expressed in passage. Digital communication cannot allow information to be shared. Help you learn about the natural and how they integrate with. Printing press. Nothing about printing press. The rise of mobile computing. The stifle of young people. No. Digital communication technology. Allow information to be shared, help people to learn about the natural and how they integrate with it. Natural. It's only a part of the natural world, right? One of the most. Computing, mobile computing, which has transformed how we communicate, access information. So it's about mobile computing, this one, right? Mobile computing. Found the keywords from the text. The growth of mobile computing, cell phones. It's not about cell phones, cell phone message, children. It's not about children yet. It's about mobile computing. It's the keyword. So this one must be the right answer. Okay, interactive listening. Okay, so this part could be challenging. Okay.
You and your friend have recently gotten part-time jobs as lab assistants for a professor. You are discussing how the job is going.
Okay, what kinds of schedule and we both work as, I think it's a lab assistant, right? Lab assistant.
You and your friend have recently gotten part-time jobs as lab assistants for a professor. You are discussing how the job is going.
What is a common role in the share? Part-time. First should be the part-time, right? Part-time. And second, we are both lab assistants for the professor. Who are you, your friend, working for? For the professor, right? Just write one key information in one blank. What is the topic of your conversation with your friend we're talking about? Let's listen again.
You and your friend have recently gotten part-time jobs as lab assistants for a professor. You are discussing how the job is going.
Talking about how the job is going, right? Going. Okay, working for a professor. Okay, submit. So your question going, come in, how's the job going? Yeah, how's your thesis going? Yeah, how's the job going, right?
It's going good. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, me to analyze how much work went into setting up before we were studying a new. Sleep. That sounds really cool. I'm looking forward to working on more interesting development too. She didn't talk about experiments, so it's not this one. That sounds great. Are they looking? Are they? No, there's no someone. So should it be? Yeah, me too, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But it's really interesting to see how everything works and to be a part of the process.
Yeah, maybe it's just a lot. That does sound like it would be worth it then. Absolutely, and it's nice to get paid for it too. Exactly. So I think you should definitely go for it. This one, right? Get paid. Absolutely. We agree with the idea, and it's nice to get paid.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just glad that we were able to get these positions.
Definitely, we both have a good chance of getting the job. No, I just started to. No, that's great. I got a job. No, yeah, me too. Professor Garcia is really great to work for. Do you know what your professor wants you to do? Yeah, this one.
Absolutely. Everything is really organized and planned out ahead of time, which makes our jobs a lot easier.
Great schedule. It's not about schedule. Don't worry. No problem. No, yeah, the professor does a great job making sure things are always under control. Always under control. That makes our jobs a lot easier for sure. Yeah, this one. Okay, now there will be a summarize, right? And before we click continue, let's just review the content to write the summarize, right? We work for and how it's going, and we think the professor is great to work for. Everything is organized, great and organized, and making sure things always under make the job easier. Yeah, things are organized. Professor is great to work for. Things are organized and make our job easier, right? Okay. We need to type very quickly. Maybe you only have like a very short time. My friend and I were working at a part-time job as lab assistants for Professor Garcia, yeah. We both think the professor is great to work for, and everything is well prepared and organized, which makes the job much easier to do. We are really satisfied with the job. Okay, time is up. Okay, rule reminder, don't look away from the screen except when typing. So only when typing you can look at the keyboard. Otherwise, just watch the screen. Writing. Okay, we need to write very fast. The image depicts a young woman who is feeding an adorable dog on the street. dog looks extremely cute and pretty. In the background, there are some buildings and green pot plants. Okay, try to write as much as you can. Write about topic below. Talk about your favorite tradition or celebration. How do you participate in the event? Why is it important to you? I think we can write about Christmas. Okay, we need to write as much as we can. We need to type very quickly. 5 minutes. Okay. My favorite celebration is definitely Christmas, which is extremely important for people in my country. The arranging of the event could start from 1,000 years ago. And during the event, everybody can experience a very enjoyable and relaxing atmosphere. Many every year I decorate my house with some things. This Christmas elements like Christmas trees and some colorful lights, as well as some interesting decorations. This event is very significant to me and my family because it is a time for us to relax both physically and mentally after a whole year of busy work. Especially my son really enjoys decorating the Christmas tree by hiding some gifts and bells on it. And sometimes we take a vacation to some places. Okay. And now we need to write a follow-up response for 3 minutes. Discuss how this traditional celebration has evolved over the years and how these changes have impacted your participation and feeling towards it. Actually, there isn't any significant changes on this tradition. If I have to discuss the changes, it could be that more technology is involved in the celebration. For example, we might check some information about some Christmas events on the social media apps to find some parties or events that are attractive so I can take my family to participate the event and spend quality time with them during the enjoyable and meaningful events. Okay, so let's submit. Okay, now there will be speaking section. So let's try to give organized answers and try to answer the question clearly and naturally. Okay, now we have 20 seconds to prepare. Speak out about the image. Phones and clocks, right? Okay, I think this photo depicts different kinds of telephones. We can see most of the telephones are very old-fashioned, and I think not many families are still using these kinds of telephones nowadays. So I think most of them could be found from museums or some exhibitions. So we can see on the table, there are like maybe around 10 telephones. And in the middle of the picture, there are two telephones with two different colors. The one on the left is pink and with a round plate in the middle. I think it's the part to dial the number. And the other one on the right is a green telephone, and it's also have a dial plate, and we can see a sign which is a bell in the middle. And there are also some other types of telephones, and we can see the one on the right is made of wood. It's more old-fashioned. And at the left bottom, we can see a red one, which looks a little bit more modern than the other ones. So I think this photo is really interesting. Okay, now next. Prepare to speak about the topic below. Discuss public assistance offered to low-income individuals and families in your country. Low-income individuals and families. What kinds of things are offered? Low-income and family. Okay, so I think the welfare of my country is really great. I think it always provides lots of things to those who are in need. For example, if some individuals who don't have enough money to make a living or buy groceries, we can also get some free food or groceries by donation. And also we can apply to the government for some subsidies or tax credit if we really have some financial difficulties. And also for those who can temporarily don't have a job, they can also apply for some subsidies to support them during the time they are looking for a new job. So I think many the families which has some low income and can benefit, and also families with kids, and also who are disabled or who can't find a job immediately. So I think people feel happiness about all these policies, although that could be a cost to the government. Okay, prepare to have a conversation. You will listen to 6 questions and have 35 seconds to answer each. So I think this is a new type of the question, right? So we need to answer each one. Okay.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about changing habits. Describe something you do every morning.
Every morning I get up very early, and I think the first thing I do is to check the social media apps to see if there are some exciting news or some exciting information I need to know. So I will typically spend 20 minutes to check all the influencers that I follow. Yeah, I think which is really interesting and useful.
Interesting. I've got a different question. How might new technology help people change their habits?
I think new technology can completely reshape the way we are searching. We search information and the way we get information. For example, now we have some artificial intelligence like ChatGPT. So most of the time, when we need some useful information or tips, we can ask ChatGPT for help. But in the past, maybe we only use the searching engines on the website. So that's a big change.
I see. I have another question. Do you think changing habits can significantly alter one's identity? Why or why not?
Well, I think this is a difficult question. I think changing habits, if changing habits can completely change the identity. So I think maybe identity not only related to the habits, but also their cultural backgrounds, their education backgrounds, and the environment where they are growing. So I think the habits maybe can have some impacts on identity, but it's not the most important influence.
Thanks for talking about changing habits with me. Now I'd like to change topics and ask you a few questions about kindness. Describe a time when someone was kind to you.
Okay, I think in some public places, we can always meet some people who are kind. I still can remember that when the time I transferred a flight in a country, and in the airport, I was taking two very heavy luggages, and a person just helped me when I tried to go get on the escalator.
Interesting. Let me ask you another question. How can kindness improve relationships with family or friends?
I think kindness is very important in helping us to build or improve their relationship with family or friends, because I think everybody can meet some difficulties, and if you are kind and you're always trying to be helpful, they will feel warmth, right? And you will give a very good feeling to others. Then this can be very encouraging to others.
I see. Let me ask you another question. How can kindness be taught to younger generations?
I think kindness is very important in the overall development of younger generations. So I think the one important stage is when they are young, especially when they are studying in the kindergarten. So I think those teachers in kindergarten should teach them to be kind, and also set good examples for them to learn, and encourage kids to have some kind behavior in daily life.
Thanks for talking about kindness with me. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you. Okay, continue. Writing and speaking sample. I think this is the last section of the test. First, we need to write something, right? Write about the topic. Okay, let's see the topic. Do you think people learn better by being told what to do, or by being shown what to do? Use examples from personal experience and observation to explain your perspective. Okay, so this question asks us about our opinions about the way we learn, which way is better, which way is more effective, right? By being told what to do, or by being shown what to do. Okay, first let's give us opinion. From my perspective, I think people can learn more effectively and efficiently through being shown what to do, or some vivid examples. And let's give the reason. This is because when people are told what to do, they are really passive in learning, and which means it is extremely difficult for them to memorize what they learn, as they get the answer too easy. In comparison, showing people what to do can attract learners' attention. Which is more engaging. And a good example can help explain the knowledge more clearly and explicitly to learners. If they are simply told what to do, they will just most of them would just blindly follow the answers without thinking. So they could not fully understand the knowledge. For example, in the classroom, teachers always show experiments and model those to students directly to help them acquire the knowledge more effectively. Okay. Do you think that hard work is enough, or does a person also need some talent to achieve difficult goals? Further reasons to support your opinion. To achieve difficult goals. I think we have always been debating about when it comes to achieve success or some difficult goals, which one is more important, the talent or hard work? So in my opinion, I think we should not ignore either of them. I think both hard work and talent or gift are important. This is because first, if we only have the talent or gift, we are very smart or intelligent, this cannot alone make sure we can finally get success or reach our goals, because in the process of achieving goals there could be many difficulties and obstacles. So and it also takes time and efforts, so we need to work very hard to overcome all the difficulties, obstacles, and we also need to dedicate to the goals, and we should not give up. And for example, even if we are very talented in a field, but if we give up very easily on the halfway to success, we can never get the final result, right? And but on the other hand, it doesn't mean we can achieve anything only by hard working, because I think many people could have various talents in different fields. So, for example, some great artists could have a very outstanding gift on drawing or painting. So that's why we can see lots of great works like Mona Lisa in the world. I think not everybody can achieve the similar success when they don't have the talent in art, right? So another example could be the Steve Jobs, who is the founder of the Apple company, and I think he has a talent to create something new with the digital technologies. That's why we have the iPhone today. So I think both the talent and the hard work are essential and necessary in helping us achieve the goals. Yeah, that's my opinion. Okay, now I've finished the whole test. Try one research only question for extra practice. They don't accept. Okay, let's not try it this time and see the score. Oh, okay, well done. We can see I got 140 to 150. I think we can find that the process of answering the question is not perfect, right? Especially in some difficult parts, I might miss some blanks. But if you can always provide the high quality answer on the questions you know, you can still get an ideal score. Okay, this is the end of the video. If you found my video helpful, please give thumbs up, and you can also subscribe my channel for more useful tips to help you improve your score in the Duolingo English test. Okay, see you next time.